I think we just need the bread.
The bread is coming.
In 2008, 21-year-old Anna and her husband Rafael aren't ready to start a family.
We really wanted to wait.
We were really careful using condoms. My husband Rafael, we've been married for 3 years. I envisioned having maybe 3 kids when I was 25.
Not bad.
Anna's menstrual cycle has always been on time. That March, she gets her period as usual.
My menstrual cycle was still normal. I've always had regular periods.
No, Mom, I'm not pregnant.
My mother, she's like, you look like you gained maybe 5 pounds. So she thought, oh, you know, are you pregnant? To calm her nerves, I took a pregnancy test to see if I was pregnant or not. Part of me was kind of hoping that I was pregnant. And it came out negative. I've always yo-yoed my weight, so it wasn't anything new. I was eating out a lot, so I just thought, oh, it's all the junk food I'm eating. Those days is when I got sick, vomiting, nauseous, it was bad. My husband and I were going out to eat to different places, just trying new things, so I just assumed that was what it was.
We have to stop going out to eat so much.
This is bedroom, bedroom, master bath.
In September, Anna and Rafael moved to a new city.
Oh, I found your candle, honey.
I gained maybe 5 pounds, and that's when I took the pregnancy test. I gained maybe another 3 or 4 pounds when I moved out here. But the move was really hard on me. I was really homesick. I was eating a lot, and my stomach started getting more like a gut.
She was actually pretty angry at herself for that.
Anna's and I are related through marriage. My husband is her husband, Ralphie's brother. We've known him for 5 years.
Yeah, I know, it's a big adjustment, but
I didn't see anything different. She looked a little healthier, but nothing other than that.
Although she thinks she's having her period every month, she also becomes strangely moody.
She would just start crying out of nowhere, and I would ask her what's wrong.
I would just blow up. I just assumed it was the move.
I'm sorry.
A month later, she develops a strange symptom, discharge from her nipples.
I noticed a clear liquid was kind of coming out of my breast.
Yeah, I'm just not feeling that good.
Then, on December 20th, both Rafael and Anna get sick after a party.
We had eaten the same thing.
Yeah, I mean...
My husband, he was sick as well. He was vomiting.
For the next 3 days, Anna continues to suffer from what she thinks is food poisoning.
My symptoms went away, and hers didn't.
Do you want me to get you something? You want some crackers or some soup?
On Tuesday, December 23rd, she is so sick she can barely move.
She was curled up and praying for the pain to go away.
I had really, really bad cramps. I was constantly going to the restroom, vomiting.
She tries to sleep, but the cramps start coming in cycles.
All throughout the night, I was just in constant pain. I was looking at the clock and I noticed that the pains were coming maybe every 10 minutes, and I was like, something's not right. I went to the restroom and a bunch of water just came out.
Rafael!
I woke my husband up and I said, I need to go to the emergency room.
That's when I ended up calling the ambulance.
I didn't know what was wrong with me. I thought maybe it was a tumor.
Paramedics were thinking, I don't need to ride in the ambulance. Hello? I would go in my car later and meet her in the hospital.
At 8 a.m., Anna arrives at the ER with agonizing cramps.
The pains kept increasing. I felt that something was pushing out of my body. I was screaming for somebody to come give me some medicine.
The doctor arrives to determine the cause of her extreme pain.
First, the doctor examined my stomach. He touched my outside stomach and had a weird look on his face.
A vaginal exam reveals the shocking news.
He checked me down there and I was already fully dilated.
I'm not pregnant.
Yes, you are. We
I'm
need
not
to take her to
pregnant.
labor.
What Anna thought was food poisoning was really the advanced stages of labor when she never even realized she was pregnant.
Okay, let's get her hooked up to the fetal monitor.
And I could hear the baby's heartbeat, and it was then that it sunk in. I was like, wow, I am in labor.
Okay, sweetheart, just relax.
I had really bad cramps. I thought maybe I'm having a miscarriage.
As soon as I arrived to the hospital, they told me that she wasn't there, that she was in labor and delivery. There were so many things going on in my mind, like she had no prenatal care. We were just thinking the worst.
Check on the room 218.
Okay.
Okay, the baby is crowning. That means you're fully dilated. I just want you to breathe for me, okay?
I was like, are you sure I'm having a baby? And she's like, yes, ma'am, the baby's the crowning. You're in labor. She connected me to the machine, and I could hear the baby's heartbeat, and it was then that it sunk in. I was like, wow, I am in labor.
What do I have to do?
I just want you to push for me, okay?
I was fully dilated, so I couldn't receive any medication whatsoever. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 10 plus.
Oh, you're doing great, Anna. All right, that's great.
I arrived to the labor and delivery room, and to my surprise, I see my wife with legs spread open, right there, ready to give birth.
His face was just like white as a ghost. He's like,
What's going on?
We're having a baby.
he was about to pass out.
Okay? Give me one more big push for me, okay?
An hour and a half after finding out she's pregnant,
You're doing great, Anna. You're doing great.
Anna vaginally delivers a small baby boy.
Do you want to cut the cord?
The doctor cut the umbilical cord. My husband was in too much shock to cut it.
When I heard a baby crying, that's when I started tearing up.
Before Anna and Raphael have a chance to hold the infant, the baby is rushed away.
Where's my baby going?
What's wrong with the baby?
There's just been a few complications, okay? She's gonna take the
I
baby
want to
and
see
she's gonna
my
have a look.
baby.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hold my son. They took him since he had no prenatal care.
We were just scared.
But I will be back as soon as I know
Are
something,
you gonna
okay?
know quickly?
It's my fault.
Oh, no.
I didn't know I was.
Although they determine Anna has been pregnant for 41 weeks, their baby boy weighs only 5 pounds 15 ounces.
Right after my son was born, he was diagnosed with meconium aspiration syndrome.
It turned out that my son was a week overdue. The stress caused him to have a bowel movement while he was still inside me. So when he came out, the first breath he took, he inhaled the meconium.
That could lead to problems with breathing, that can lead to pneumonia and long-term lung damage.
I just went from not even knowing I was having a baby to having a baby, and now you're telling me that he's sick?
The doctor explains their baby will now need a dangerous emergency surgery.
There's a very big chance that he won't survive.
The terrified parents consent to the surgery, and the baby is transferred to a hospital with a neonatal intensive care unit.
The doctors performed surgery on him Christmas night.
I was afraid of what was gonna happen to the baby, like whether he was gonna make it or not.
I remember getting on my knees and praying to God, please, just let him live.
After a harrowing night of waiting, Anna and Raphael hear the news.
When we found out that our son's surgery was a success, we felt relieved, but the doctors told us that the hard part was just beginning.
Their son may have survived the surgery, but is still fighting for his life.
Babies that undergo severe aspiration often require mechanical ventilation. In severe cases, it is dangerous because it can cause brain damage, pneumonia, and lung damage as well.
Seeing my son like that was devastating.
It was bad. My husband and I were in tears every day.
Then, some hope. After 5 weeks hooked up to a heart-lung bypass machine, the baby finally begins to breathe on his own.
I was on a natural high.
Felt really good.
You can't prevent meconium aspiration syndrome. However, typically an overdue fetus is specifically monitored twice weekly to make sure that the baby isn't stressed out. So theoretically, she could have prevented this if she had gotten good prenatal care.
After 6 long weeks, Anna and Raphael finally bring the baby home.
We were finally gonna start a life together, just us, and no hospitals, no doctors, no machine keeping him alive, just us, family.
My son's name is Ezequiel. We gave him the middle name Jesus because it was Christmas Eve, and he was a miracle baby.
How is it possible for Anna to have experienced so many unusual symptoms and not know she was pregnant?
I do ask myself how I missed the signs.
She didn't even look pregnant. She didn't have the stomach.
There was a lot of symptoms there that we just didn't put together.
She most likely got pregnant in March of 2008.
I think the condom must have broke when I was ovulating.
If condoms are used consistently, they should have a greater than 90% efficacy. It's important to store condoms correctly. They should be stored in a cool, dry place. They shouldn't be left in someone's back pocket or glove compartment for long periods of time.
Anna didn't notice any change in her menstrual period.
The doctor said, What I was getting was not my period. It was just spotting.
In June, Anna even took a pregnancy test. It was negative.
Some women might have a very low HCG or pregnancy hormone level. It is possible for a line or a sign on a pregnancy test to become so faint that the patient might misinterpret the reading.
She also had mood swings, but chalked it up to moving to a new city.
You're sarcastic.
I'm not being sarcastic.
She did vomit several times, but the most unusual symptom Anna experienced was a colostrum leaking from her breasts.
I'm the type of person that if it's not hurting me, I'm fine.
Colostrum is a form of milk that's secreted from the breast. It's usually secreted up to a week before delivery or within the first day after delivery.
Anna has advice for all the women watching.
This is a warning. Don't be in denial, saying, no, that can't happen to me. It can.
After a traumatic start, 6-month-old Ezekiel is developmentally back on track.
Surviving this was a miracle and a blessing.
My son, he's perfectly healthy. Now with him here, my life is complete.
If our son can do this, there's nothing that we can't do.